You're watching 25 News Now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Shauna Curry. Don Brubaker is on assignment. And we will continue to follow that meeting between President Trump and Russian President Putin and have an update coming up on 25 News Now at 10. A cat found dumped in a cage behind Las Palmas restaurant in Victoria is doing well despite all he's been through. The cat, who has since been named Garfield, is still being cared for at Main Street Animal Hospital. The veterinary team says Garfield is eating and drinking, is very friendly but shy at times. While he's overall healthy, there are some issues that they are addressing. Garfield will finish his recovery at Saving Animal Lives 24/7 Rescue, then be available for adoption.
He's had his vaccines. He's had a rabies vaccine. He just has some bad skin, but that's from poor hygiene and probably environmental issues, possibly fleas.
Mark Sloat with Victoria County Animal Services says officials were not able to get a license plate number of the vehicle seen on surveillance video. Authorities have to identify the people involved before any charges can be filed. Anyone with information should contact the Victoria Police Department or Animal Services. So for our viewer poll tonight, we're asking what you think would be the best action to prevent future animal abuse in our community. Is it stronger laws and penalties, education programs in schools, community reporting initiatives, or animal welfare awareness campaigns? And overwhelmingly 72% say stronger laws and penalties would be the best way to prevent cases like this in the future. So continue voting by going to crossroadstoday.com/vote, and we'll have another look at these numbers coming up on 25 News Now at 10. More arrests have been made in a massive Texas game warden investigation called Ghost Deer. Among the 24 people now charged, 19-year-old Ryder Whitstein and 21-year-old Riker Whitstein from Rockport, as well as Gage and Herbert Tim McKenzie from Normanna in B County. Game wardens say that they were part of a statewide network accused of smuggling white-tailed deer, faking records, and skirting disease testing rules. The bust, which started with a routine traffic stop back in March, has now ballooned into one of the biggest deer smuggling cases in Texas history, with about 1,400 charges filed across 11 counties. Concerned citizens of the Texas Gulf Coast are working to stop the construction of 4 nuclear reactors. To read this full article, come to crossroadstoday.com. A safety scare at Victoria East High School this afternoon after staff reported a student may have made a threat on campus. Victoria County Sheriff's Department school resource officers say a 16-year-old boy commented about building a bomb. After investigating, they determined there was no credible threat to the school or students. The teen was arrested for making a false report and taken to juvenile detention. No weapons or explosives were found and no one was hurt. The sheriff's office says it has zero tolerance for any threats against schools. The Texas Education Agency has released its 2025 A through F accountability ratings, and for the first time in 2 years, the public can see how their schools scored. The ratings cover more than 1,200 districts and 9,000 campuses across the state. Compared to last year, nearly a third of campuses improved, most stayed the same, and only 15% saw a drop in letter grade. You can check your school's grade and even compare it to others at txschools.gov. The DeWitt County Office of Emergency Management is working on its hazard mitigation plan, flooding hazards being a huge topic this summer in Texas. 25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting joins us to explain where they are in that process. Trenton?
Thank you, Shauna. DeWitt County is now in the public comments portion of their hazard mitigation planning, and it's a vital part of that plan. The Emergency Management Office compiles the area's natural disaster data from the past, along with personal stories from as many sources as possible. Emergency Management Coordinator Billy Jordan says it's crucial to hear from every part of the county, from property owners, business owners, to those under the poverty level. Jordan hopes everyone contributes to help build this plan based on their experiences.
Critical spot right now as we're developing this, because this will truly affect the 5 years. And so it's crucial that all of our community families, the community business owners, our oil and gas partners, every aspect within our community really truly needs to help paint the picture.
The office is hoping to hear about the impacts from flooding, hurricanes, fires, or any other natural disasters in the area. Things like costs, damage, and future concerns are all part of the personal reporting. Residents can follow a QR code to open this survey or visit the Emergency Management Office for a physical copy. And once the public comment section is over, the county will work with the Texas Department of Emergency Management as well as FEMA to work towards finalizing this hazard mitigation plan. Shauna, back to you.
All right, we are expecting some more rain, hopefully not flooding rain. Let's go to Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez for a first look at the forecast. Mac.
Absolutely. Well, if we didn't get any flooding today, then our chances are very slim for tomorrow. I'll tell you, the system is right off the coast of Brownsville, and it's moved on shore, so it's not going to strengthen, but it did have a bit of a circulation, kind of a depression, sort of drifting up. The heaviest rain was down there. Obviously, we were on the north. We got an outer band that came through the area and gave us a couple of showers for today. Now, we're going to stay in this very, shall we say, unstable environment. You can see the system rolling ashore earlier today, and the showers that did come through our region in the afternoon. But at this hour, everything's pretty much over with. Heating will trigger more showers tomorrow, and then what about Sunday? All that coming up in a moment.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott has called a second special session to push through congressional maps that could add up to 5 Republican U.S. House seats. House Democrats who fled the state to block redistricting could return as soon as Monday, tied to the first session ending and California introducing its new map. Abbott criticized Democrats for leaving, saying he will use all necessary tools to finish the job. Republicans are expected to consider the same map from the first session, though changes are possible. The session will also address flood relief in the Texas Hill Country and other conservative priorities, including camp safety legislation. And Governor Abbott and U.S. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins held a news conference today on fighting the dangerous screwworm parasite. The invasive species burrows fly larvae into wounds of livestock, pets, and occasionally people, causing potential deadly damage. Screwworms were recently detected just a few hundred miles from the southern border, prompting a suspension of cattle imports from Mexico. Abbott has set up a Texas screwworm response team to prevent an outbreak that could cost the state nearly $2 billion in livestock losses each year.
This can result in billions of dollars of losses a year. It could truly crush the cattle industry as well as other livestock industry in Texas.
We've got a product called ivermectin. A lot of people.
If an infestation is suspected, Texas A&M AgriLife recommends contacting authorities like the Texas Animal Health Commission and Texas Parks and Wildlife, as well as notifying a veterinarian. You should then inspect the animal for signs of infestation and collect any samples to give to authorities. There are several treatment options, including topical treatments. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6, the flu vaccines are coming straight to your door when the new delivery service will make shots easier. Plus, Americans are cutting back on alcohol. Who is rethinking reaching for a drink and why experts are sounding the alarm.
Here's a look at what you can expect on Community Crossroads. We hear from the Food Bank of the Golden Crescent Habitat for Humanity, Calhoun County Humane Society, and we hear about Tejas Fest.
But we'll be having the Lucha Libre Wrestling, the Petting Zoo, Trick Roper, free photo booth, cornhole tournament, car show, and then a new feature this year, the Chihuahua races.
Now taking a look behind the menu at local food establishment inspection reports. The latest food inspection report from the Victoria County Public Health Department shows several locations with notable violations. Grab and Go in Placido scored 39 demerits with issues including expired food, pest presence, and multiple sanitation problems. Shipley's Donuts on North Navarro in Victoria received 17 demerits, cited for expired items, unsanitary surfaces, and improper food storage. Agave Jalisco in Yorktown was given 15 demerits with violations ranging from live pests to improper food protection and floors in need of better cleaning. On the bright side, several locations earned perfect scores with 0 violations. Those include Citizens Medical Center Dietary Department, Colony Creek Country Club, Country Express Family Restaurant, HTO, McDonald's on North Navarro, Parkway Church and its coffee shop, Taco Bell on North Navarro, The Nutrition Place, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, East to West Market in Yoakum, Sinful Sweets and Guns in Port Lavaca, the Snow Cone Zone, Bar El Patron, and multiple reverse thirst mobile units operating across the county. There's a new option for those who want to protect themselves ahead of flu season. There's a new at-home vaccine delivery option that healthcare advocates say they hope will boost vaccination rates this year. ABC's Jacqueline Lee has more.
Without even having to leave your house. FluMist, created by company AstraZeneca, will now allow customers to order it online and have it shipped right to their door, avoiding a trip to the doctor's office or pharmacy.
FluMist, now it's been approved for at-home use, and given the fact that we had a really bad flu season, this could be a huge game changer in terms of keeping people healthy and out of the hospital.
FluMist is a nasal spray flu vaccine, meaning no more needles. It's been around since 2003, but only at pharmacies or doctor's offices.
We think that most insurance companies are going to cover this. We do think also that the shipping cost will be about $10 for 4 doses. And in terms of safety and efficacy, it seems to be on par with the needle-based flu vaccine, so equivalent essentially.
But only certain age groups can use it. It is not recommended for children under age 2, adults over age 49, or pregnant women. Last year's flu season was the deadliest for children since the H1N1 global flu pandemic in 2009. 267 children died from the flu. On average, about 8% of the U.S. population gets sick from the flu each season.
We have to take a different approach to flu vaccination to protect more people. We know the more people that get vaccinated, the more we can protect everyone.
Health advocates say the best thing you can do is speak with your doctor to see if you or your family members would be good candidates for FluMist. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, New York.
A record low number of Americans are drinking alcohol these days. A new poll from Gallup found just 54% of Americans said they consume alcohol at all. Among those who drink, a record low of 24% said they had a drink in the past 24 hours, while 40% said it had been more than a week since they last had any alcohol. That's the highest figure Gallup has recorded since 2000. Meanwhile, for the first time, a majority of Americans say having even 1 or 2 drinks per day is bad for your health.
Well, folks, we're taking a look at that tropical system that brought the heavy rain deep South Texas. We had a few little showers, but are we going to get any more? That's the big question. We'll talk about it coming up after this. Well, as expected, we got a few little showers that rolled through the area courtesy of that tropical system down south. We're at 89 degrees. That's actually nicer than normal for this time of year. We only got up to 94 today, and that's below the average. Only got 1,500s of rain out at the airport, but it's not completely over with just yet, although I don't really expect a lot of big thunderstorms now. There's the system. You can see the circulation. It's onshore right now, so it's no longer possible that it will strengthen up. It is producing some heavy rain in deep South Texas. We got a few little showers rolling through, but really it wasn't even as much as I thought it was going to be. Now it's going to be even less over the next couple of days. Now, obviously here we are. Here's the rain still left over down in deep South Texas. You can see that circulation right about there. And so we got sort of an outer band that came through the area and really got humid. But at this hour, at 6:34, there's not much happening out there. So we'll just call it a day as far as we're concerned for today. Now, tomorrow we'll have a loose environment, lots of instability, lots of moisture. We're going to pop a few more afternoon showers, mostly driven by heating, certainly not associated with this system, but you'll see a couple of more pop-up showers for tomorrow afternoon. Let's take a look at what's happening in the Atlantic. We've got Erin that's still there, and it is the biggest storm of the season. It is a 1 now, and it's likely to become even a 4 right about here, but I do believe it's going to split the goalposts. You know what I mean? Here's Bermuda, here's the East Coast, going to go right down the middle and possibly not really hit anybody full strength, which is good. The surfers on the East Coast are going to have fun because they're going to have a lot of rough surf moving out in that direction. And we just have to still keep watching the West Coast of Africa. We've got another easterly wave coming around. Right now, the computer models do have that following the path of Erin and strengthening up as well. So we'll certainly be watching it, but that's about 7 days from now. So we're not going to get too excited about it. Now here's Future Tracker. We start off on your Friday evening. We see that on early Saturday morning, we'll see some cloud cover and a couple of little showers, mostly inland areas. And then in the afternoon, right at about noontime, you'll see them start to pop up because the heating will kick up the atmosphere and make it unstable and give us a few little afternoon showers right about there. As we get to Sunday, you can see that fewer showers are expected, but they're still possible because of the instability left over from all this activity. So let's take a look at your day planner for tomorrow in Port Lavaca, looking at a high of 95, and of course the garden variety showers popping during the afternoon hours. In Cuero, you're getting up to 96. Also expect a few little pop-ups here and there. And as we get into Sunday, we see fewer showers, so a lot more sun on Sunday and a pretty nice warm sauna-like day of about a 98, then 99 on Monday. Looks like we've got a little bit of a looser atmosphere, which I mean unstable. In other words, a little heating will pop up something for the afternoon hours, and that's for next week. But certainly we'll be watching anything that happens out in the tropics. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that, put Crossroads Today on your phone, and have a great weekend. We'll toss it back to Shauna.
Luckily, regardless of rain or sun, this one sport that Max is highlighting in his sports report, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, because it's indoors, right? Shot of there with volleyball, all right? So we have a lot of teams that are playing there in those top-notch tournaments and getting out of the rain that's happening here this weekend. So we'll highlight some of the teams coming up next here in sports. Everyone, we are officially 2 weeks away from Football Friday nights beginning here to take center stage. And we have a couple more teams we're going to highlight going into the 2025 season. We're looking at Hallettsville Sacred Heart Indians, who last year, under new head coach now Ronnie Dow, they look to improve there. Going into this year, they bring back 2 top running backs in Clayton Haas and running back Cameron Cole, but their fastest player on their entire team is wide receiver Ty Noska, so he'll be a big threat for the Indians this year. But can they compete there on the offense and defensive lines? That will be up the question there going into this year. So let's see if they can do that, because they open the season at Schulenburg on August 29th. Now, from previewing the Indians to one big-time scrimmage that's going on here tonight, the Refugio Bobcats battling the Goliad Tigers out there in Goliad. And again, for Refugio, they ran all the way to the regional semifinals before losing to the Ganado Indians there last year. But they have a new experience in their quarterback Ray Lewis and their running back Xander Wills. But Goliad just is the opposite. They bring back a lot of experience on their team this year. They're going to have, again, back on Cord Zamza, quarterback. You got Donovan Perry, the running back, and Lamont Franklin is Mr. Highlight Reel all over there for Goliad this year. So we'll see if we can get a little bit of highlights for you guys later on for 25 News Now Sports at 10 p.m. Now, over to another first scrimmage happening tonight between Corpus Christi King and traveling over here to face the Victoria West Warriors there at Memorial Stadium. We'll start here in about 20 minutes time. The West Warriors get a new taste of their new quarterback in charge, and Nolan Boyce. He's also got top weapons as well in Tristan Bernard and running back Genesis Jeffries. So for King last year, they went 2-8, and their senior quarterback and James Malayas there is now gone for this year. So they're going to have the new quarterbacks in charge out there for Corpus Christi Kings. We'll see how West Warriors showcase out their talent tonight here in Victoria. Now, one more football scrimmage between Cuero Gobblers. They're facing the Kerrville Tivy High School, which starts there in just a couple of minutes there. And this one, we're going to see how Cuero's Walker Deeds can perform as well. And Jackson Marine, experienced offensive line as well for Cuero. That's going to be huge to see in that matchup there for their first scrimmage. Now, from all the football action to volleyball, we have a lot of teams competing in top level their tournaments this season. And for Victoria West, they currently have been undefeated so far in the Columbus tournament. Also, Victoria St. Joe is there as well. For Victoria East, they are 2-2 right now. They're in the Tex Fest tournament out there in Wimberley. For Goliad, they're competing against 6A teams right now out there in Pearland, and they are currently right now 4-2 overall in the John Turner Classic out there in Pearland. For Bay City, Tidehaven, and Bloomington, they're all out there in the Van Fleck tournament right now. And they're getting big-time wins in the winners bracket for sure. And Cuero Industrial Calhoun have made noise out there in the Cuero Classic here the next couple days. We'll give you all the updates for these tournaments there for 25 News Now Weekend Sports this weekend. And then finally, a couple days ago, we highlighted Texas A&M Victoria men's soccer being in the preseason coaches poll for the Red River Athletic Conference. Well, the women's team joins the same. They bring back star freshman there in from last year from Javier Boreas, and also keep an eye on senior Rosa Reyes as well. They played a total there of 40 matches there, Reyes did there for Texas A&M Victoria for the women's team. So they currently are in the preseason number 8 right now going into this year. They're going to open the season August 30th at home. That'll be the last time they be under the name UHV. Then they're going to transition over to A&M Victoria. They're starting in September. And finally, this weekend, the Houston Texans have their second preseason game at home versus Carolina Panthers at noon on the CW network. And also the Dallas Cowboys. They host the Baltimore Ravens here on KML on NBC. That game's going to be at 6 p.m. So busy week of NFL preseason happening this weekend. That's going to do it here in sports. Shauna, back to you.
We are back in a moment. Aston Martin sparkles at Car Week. We'll take a look at what makes this luxury car one of a kind. Plenty of impressive cars turn up for Car Week in Carmel, California, but it's likely only one looks like this. It's an Aston Martin Valkyrie Spider covered in 300,000 crystals. As you can imagine, it got a lot of attention outside a coffee shop this week. The man who says he's responsible for the bedazzling says each crystal was placed by hand. I wonder how long that took. The car has a V12 engine with over 1,100 horsepower. Aston Martin says that they're only producing 85 of these cars, and so far this is the only one that has been bedazzled. Maybe the only one that ever gets bedazzled. But, I don't know. It's pretty.
Yeah, and that's so you can go get coffee. It's amazing. You're bedazzled at the coffee shop. Folks, we have a chance for more afternoon showers popping around tomorrow because of the tropical atmosphere that we have. Fewer showers on Sunday, and Monday we're getting up back to 99. Next Monday, I'm going to be at 6 p.m. at the Market House Museum talking about World War I. If you have ancestors that were involved in World War I, please come by and visit. We need to talk about those veterans.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 10. Until then, have a great evening.